It is time for our top five teams in the NFL for week 9. This week, I'm going to start from 5 and we're going to go up to 1. But here we go. Number 5, we have the Minnesota Vikings. They have dropped in my list due to them dropping 2 games. So they lost a tough one to the Lions. That was a great game. No shame there. But they followed that up with a Rams loss. And the Rams are struggling, and they lost 30-20 that game. So back-to-back losses. You want to make sure that the bottom doesn't fall out here. Again, they're in the toughest division in football right now. They're in the NFC North, and by those 2 losses, they are already third in the division. So they have to make sure they're staying consistent with the in a division with a team like the Lions. I mean, there's very little room for error here. So they are still in my top 5. I still think they're a dangerous team, and I do think they come back this week against the Colts and get back on track. But right now, I have them at number 5. Number 4, we have the Baltimore Ravens. They are another team that has dropped a bit. A really, really tough loss here against the Browns. That was surprising. They did ring off 5 straight wins. So, I mean, at some point that streak is going to come to an end. You anticipate, but not many people anticipated it to be against the Browns. And when you look at the Ravens, 2 of their 3 losses are against bad teams, the Browns and the Raiders. Now, I will note that it is a little different. The Browns don't have Deshaun Watson and Jameis Winston, and the hype around him. They get a spark. Sometimes teams get that spark, a new energy, and they play with a new motivation behind them. And so that's kind of what happened with the Browns this week. But still a game the Ravens should have won and were in position to win. But they dropped that one. So 2 bad losses this season for the Ravens, but still not concerned. They are still in my top 5. Just had to drop a couple of spots because we have at the number 3 spot. You know what time it is. My Steelers are at number 3 this week. A lot of people saying I should have them higher. I don't blame them. This team looks dangerous. Now, here is what I have to be objective. This is my team, my second team. Go Falcons, first team. My second team, we have to be objective here, right? Let's just listen to the Steelers' schedule so far. We are 6-2 right now, first in the AFC North. Stop playing with us. But let's listen to this schedule. Week 1, we had the Falcons. Yeah, that's my team. We're okay. That's a good win on the road. Then we got the Broncos. Okay, good win. They're okay. They're up and down, but on the road, start off the season 2-0 on the road. Great. The Chargers, solid team. 20-10, beat that. We're 3-0. And then lost to the Colts and then lost to the Cowboys. Those are 2 underperforming teams this year. 2 tough losses. Don't expect that from the way the Steelers are playing. You wouldn't guess that those are their 2 losses. The next games were against the Raiders, Jets, and Giants. Those are all poor teams. And so this week we have the Commanders. That should be a good game. And to be honest, the toughest test so far this season. The first half of this schedule has been pretty underperforming or mid-tier teams. So I'm excited. I think nothing changes. I think we continue to show our dominance here. And we could just twist it. Don't get it twisted. I think we continue to show our dominance, but something you do have to keep top of mind or in the back of your mind, really, for the Steelers. Not the heaviest competition thus far. Nonetheless, they are number 3 on my list and a very dangerous team. Number 2, we have, here we go, The Detroit Lions. I have loved how the Lions look this year. To be honest, they've looked like the most consistent team in football this year. Besides the one blemish on their record against the Bucks, they've looked almost unbeatable. I mean, again, they just play with this physicality and aggression that is just so hard to match up with. And they just look like a team on a mission. They, I mean, could very well be the team coming out of the NFC. Long season, the playoffs are a different beast, but you have to like what you're seeing right now from the Detroit Lions. And a lot of people think that I should have them at number one. And you can't argue with them because they do look like one of the best teams in the league. But I can't put them at number one just yet because my number one spot, you know who it's going to, the Patrick Mahomes. And as you have been reminding me in the comments, the Kansas City refs. The Kansas City refs are at my number one spot this week. They remain. And it's again, until a team is able to figure it out against them, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, they are winning, like I said last week, unimpressively, and I mean that as a compliment. They are doing kind of this just the bare minimum, and it's working. No team can figure them out, and I have to tip my cap off to Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes for that. And more than anything, that defense. That defense has been playing very well this year, and they look like a strong point for that team. So that is the top five going into week 9. And we'll see another big week coming up. We'll see if we have any changes. Go Falcons and go Steelers.